Hello, good morning everyone. Thank you for coming to join me today. I just wanted to give you a little catch up on the Christmas journals that I'm doing and maybe do a little craft with me. I've had a couple of people ask how I've done the flip out page that I attach to the envelopes that I put in journals. So we'll have a go at doing one of those. Both journals are coming along nicely. I've added some little wooden gingerbread men on this one, the one with the pom-pom trim. So that's coming on nicely, and that's the one we're going to be working on today. I showed this one and we made this one together. So that's the one that's got the flap that pulls out, that you've got writing space, and it's got some journaling cards in there now. And then last time we did this one that is a little bit bulky, but it sits there quite nicely, and that flips out and it's got a journaling card in there. I actually found from last year a couple of printouts that I'd done slightly smaller, so I've put them in there as just a little writing space. And then the Tim Holtz, I don't know what you call it, the Tim Holtz slot page that goes in with a couple of journaling cards in, and then it's got a card at the back and a card that goes behind it. So yeah, it is a little bit bulky, but it actually sits quite nicely. And I also, what else did I do? Oh, I did the little tag just there on that page, and I've added some texture paste. I don't know if you can see that as little snowflakes. So each book's the same, they've both got that in. So what I'm going to do today is the window envelopes that I've put in, on the back of it, I've done a pocket. So that's the back of the window envelope, but I've put a flip out on it so that when you turn it over, it's got a flip just there, and that goes over the page to a pocket. A couple of people have asked me how I did it, so I thought I'll show you on this one, the little gingerbread men. So let's just find the window envelope in here. Here it is, right near the middle. Take that out and we'll work on this. So the window envelope, I've actually stuck that image behind it. It's not one that you can look through on this, but I've put that nice image on there. And then these are the Woodland, I think it's called Woodland Santa, but I'll put a link below, of Amy's kits. Little pocket there on the back. And we're going to put the pocket on here, the little flip out. So I think I'm going to use this as to cover the envelope, is what I'm thinking. Hopefully it'll look okay when I've done. It is quite a dark one, and this again is from Amy's Woodland Santa kit. So how wide do I need that to be? It's about 5 inches, so just slightly less than 5 inches to cover the back of the envelope. Slightly less than, oopsie daisy. I'm all butterfingers this morning. There we go. Let's move that out the way. So I'm going to put that on there to cover that up as a starting point. I think I'll have the lighter side. Not that it really matters. So I'm just looking for a bigger glue book. Just get some glue on here and get that stuck down. So there's different ways you can do this. It isn't a difficult one. I think it looks more complicated than it is when you see it in a journal. But I try not to do complicated if I can help it. But, you know, you can adapt this to how you want it to be. And I have done it a couple of different ways, actually. So I'm putting that not all the way up to the crease, because obviously I still want this to close. I keep thinking that's something stuck on the paper, and it's not. It's part of the sprigs of the tree. Okay, so that's nicely glued on there. And these, I do usually stitch around these when I do a window envelope like this, just to give it that extra stability. But you don't have to. Just make sure, if you're not gluing, just make sure that you stick it on nice and firmly, just so that your corners don't come up. And it does make it quite a stiff page as well, but I like them in a journal, and I think people that have bought journals from me quite like them as well, so, or at least nobody said they don't. There we go, that's stuck on there. Get rid of that big book. Okay, there's two ways that you could do this. If I hadn't cut this, I could have folded it over to the back and made that into a pocket, and then sewed or attached that to it so that I've got a pocket on the back, and then that would flip out. But for this one, the way that I want to do it is I want to put the pocket on that side and turn this over to the back. So I think I want about a 2-inch pocket. I'm just going to have a quick look and see what did I do on this one. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, that's this. That's the one you're making now, Carol, you nitwit. That's why you can't find it. Here's one I made earlier. So there's the pocket that we're going to do first. And I've lost my ruler now. Oh well, let's measure it on that. You can't measure it on that. Where did I put it? Oh, right in front of me. Come on, Carol, Saturday morning. So it's about 2.5. Okay. So I've printed this just on normal 80 GSM paper, which isn't very sturdy. So what I've done is I've glued 2 pieces of A4 together so that it makes it more stable. You know, it's quite thick. If you've got thicker copy paper, then obviously you don't need to do that. Do it how you want it to be. My scoreboard's not big enough for this, but it works, so we'll still use it. I just have to flip it over. So I want this to be about 2 and just a bit less than 2.5, I think. So I'm going to score that down there, flip it over and score it there. So that is going to be our pocket. It'll make sense to you in a minute. So that is going to fit on there, and that's going to be our pocket. Okay, so that when we turn it over, this is going to be the flip. Now I don't want it to go all the way to there, so I'm going to fold it about there. You may need to trim your piece of paper down before you do this. Just, you know, have a look. It depends how big your journal pages are. When I get kits that are from designers in the USA, they print slightly smaller in the UK because we're A4 and they're USA letter size. So they do print slightly smaller. So I always kind of double check. So that's how that's going to work. So that will flip that way and it will flip out that way. And I will cover that, and then it's going to be a pocket just there. Okay, so it's not, as I say, it's not difficult. It's nice and easy, and it looks nice when you've got it on. So I'm gonna glue that on there. That's slightly over there. Look, let me just neaten this up a little bit. We don't want it folding that underneath, do we? I thought I'd cut that off, but obviously I didn't. Right, let's try again. So that's going to go on there as the pocket. Just make sure I've got that the right way up. Yep. Nothing worse than adding it on and it not being right. Let's glue that. So all I'm going to do at the minute is I'm going to put some glue at the top and I'm going to put some glue at the bottom, and I'm just going to glue that on there. Okay. And then while that's drying, as I say, you may need to trim it down afterwards, not a problem. I don't worry about that now. So while that's just drying, I'm going to stitch around it, but before I do any stitching I need to cover the back of this. So I need a piece of paper to go on the back of there. Oh, did I use that one in the front of this one? It's the gingerbread man one we're working on, isn't it? Sorry, reaching. Yeah, I've used that one in there. It is the gingerbread one we're doing now, isn't it? Yeah, so I don't want to use that one again in this journal. We've got the children's sledging, and I think that might be nice to use. I don't think I've used that one in this journal. So again, this is on A4 copy of paper, which is just fine. And I know it's about 5 inches that I need. So I'm going to cut that at 5 inches. Double check, Carol. Yeah, it's going to be that little bit less than 5, I think. That's okay. Let's put that out of the way. Okay, make sure I've got it the right way up. Yeah, that's the other one. Yeah, I'm with it. I've got it. Got it good. So that's going on there, but obviously I don't want it to come all the way up to here, and I don't want it to interfere with that, so I do need to take just a little bit off. So just a little bit less than 5. Sorry, I'm just going to switch you off while I get my head over this. Okay, so you're back with me. Just make sure that I've got this the right way up. Yep. And the little sledging people are going to go on there. And it doesn't quite come up to the edge, look, so I'm good with that. Just squish that down a little bit. And it doesn't come over. Really, I should have put a bit of glue on there, but I'm actually going to stitch down that, so I'm not that worried. I could actually put a little bit of glue down there now. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it and stitch it. Just want that glue to dry a little bit, don't I? So as you can see, I've not quite got a straight line there. As I say, I don't worry about it when I'm making it, because you can trim it up when you've got all your bits glued on. So I am going to trim that off and try and get it kind of straightish, because kind of straight is always good, isn't it? And then just cut off those extra bits of paper that I've got on there. There we go. And then you should be able to see how that will work. So it will go in the journal. Let's just put it in. So it goes into the journal like that. So hopefully you can see that. So there it is in the journal. That opens. We've got the centre page there. That turns over. We've got a pocket here. That pulls out. And then we've got this as a flip out there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and stitch down round that and then all the way round there. And then that will firmly close that pocket together. So I'll just nip off and do that and come back and show you. Okay, so I'm back. I'm back. So if you can see what I've done, let me just put it where it's going to be in the journal. So it's going to fit like that. We've got the pocket just here, so there'll be a journal card goes in there. I've stitched down there. I slightly made a boo-boo because I just pulled that apart just so I can stitch down there, only because I wasn't sure, because I stuck 2 pieces of paper together. I just wanted it to be secure. So I've stitched down there, glued it on, and then what I've done is I stitched down there with the pocket open, and then I've stitched all the way around it back to there. And then what that's done is it's secured this pocket in there. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And then what we've got is we have the flip out that way, and it flips out that way. So you've got all this space to journal on if you want to, and you can put you can put things on here, you can put pockets on, whatever you want. And then you've got that image there that you can see, and again you've got writing space, or you can put cards or photos in it. And then you've got a lovely little tuck spot just there. So that's that one done, and I might decorate it yet. I'll have a look at that in a little bit. The bobbles, my bobbles are getting tangled. So that's that one. And then I just wanted to share another one with you. Amy from Crafty Cat made a pocket this week, and I will link her video below. And I've made one in the style of Amy, and it will go on my journal page like this. And it will be a tuck spot just there. It will opens here all the way out, and then that's more writing space there, and there's a little tuck spot there, but you'd have to be careful you don't put anything in that's going to cover that fold line there. And then, as I say, it tucks there, and then it opens that way as well. So you've got plenty of room there that you can journal on if you want to, and then it will fold like that. And Amy didn't put a tie on hers, but she may well do when she puts it in a journal. So tuck spot, fold out, fold out, fold out, journal space, journal space. So it was really simple, and I thought it lays nice and flat. It's only made from one piece of paper. So this is the paper that I'm using in these journals. It's kind of a, it's like a faux parchment paper. I think it's 90 GSM, but it does feel quite sturdy. And I really like it on some journal pages. So I'm just going to trim the edges. So I've photocopied on both sides of this one. Turn over. So I'm just trimming off the edges. So I hope you like the Christmas journals that I've made. I've really enjoyed using these kits. As I said before, I've used quite a few Christmas kits, and I kind of go for the old world images rather than the modern. So yeah, the ones, Amy's I love using, Artie Mazer's are fab to use, and Rachel Rox's Creations has some fabulous ones as well. Just make sure I've got the edge cut off on the back. So as I say, this is a piece of A4. I'll give you the measurement of mine. So that's about just over 10 1/4 after I've cut the edges off, by about 8 inches. So it may be a little bit big to fit the page, but it won't, you can trim it. I would fold it and then trim it to fit. So that's what I'm going to do. And again, it depends the size of your journal, whether you want to use a full page of A4, which you can do. It's just that, as I say, when I print out the kits from the American designers, I get a bigger border. And if I print it edge to edge, borderless, then I tend to lose, it shoves the bottom of the picture off it. So that's just the way it works, I think, sometimes. Could be my printer. So the image that you want to be on the outside of the journal face down. So that's the image that I'm going to have on the inside of this one. So all that you do, simple, simple, love it, Amy, if I've got this right. Fold it in half. So you've got your centre crease. Like so. Then you're going to fold this one not all the way up to that crease, because you don't want it to interfere. So slightly back. And I know that crease is just there. I don't know if you can see. It's just there, look. So about 1/8 of an inch, I'm just leaving a gap, just because I don't want it to interfere with it. That one like that. And then the other side, again, slightly slightly to the side of that crease. And then fold it in half. And then you've got it there. So it folds out, and we're going to put the tuck spot writing space there. And then that bit flips out like that. And then it goes on your page like so. So it couldn't really get any simpler, could it? Just neaten these edges off, because either my folding's out, I think it's actually the paper, the way it gets pulled into the printer. And then you cut your edges off and it's not quite level, is it? So I want to do the little flip out here. And I think, yeah, I've got the back of the paper that I used on the other one. So again, I've just photocopied on it double-sided. Sorry, I just can't see what I'm doing today. It looks like I've got a really wonky piece of paper here. That's okay. We don't mind. We can straighten it up, can't we? And just take the edges off it. And then decide which I want to be on the outside and which I want to be on the inside. I think you're actually going to see that bit of it. So I could have it that way. And then it would flip that way. So I think I'm going to do this one that way. That's going to be too wide because, as I said, you've got this crease here. So you're going to put that on there so that it's going to fold out and be writing space, and it'll be a tuck bit in there as well. So what I want to do, obviously I want to be able to tuck something in here. It's only going to be something thin, a thin tag or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my ruler where I know that 1/4 inch is. No, I'm not. I'm going to close that so I can see where it is. There we go, look. So I know there's a crease just there. Okay. And I don't want this pocket to go, or this writing paper to go all the way up to it. So I'm going to just stop short of it. And put the glue down the sides. I think this has got so many options that you could do using it as different pockets. It's a fabulous idea. And as I say, it did lay really flat. You can give yourself some really good creases in it and it will lay flat. So then you can see, I'm getting glue on the mat, I've left a gap. Let's just glue that on. And then I'll trim this to fit. You'll see in a minute, because I know it's too big. So that can still fold and you can actually get something in there. It's not right up to the fold. So if I turn it over, I can just trim off the excess, because we don't need that on there. So now we can see, hopefully it makes sense to you. So let's just get this back. So again, this will go, oh, I've used the same paper. I hadn't realised. So that's going to go on there like that. It's going to open like that and like that. And then you've got the writing space there. And that will be a little tuck pocket there. Hope you can see that. You could put it right up to your crease if you want to, but I just want to be able to leave a tag just sticking out slightly so that the people can see that it's there. It's going to glue there, down there and across there. So those three sides, 1, 2, 3 on that bit. So that will open like that and you'll have a tuck spot there. So when it's closed, and you can do it to go the other side as well, so that it would open that way and that way. You know, it's up to you which way you put it on. It really doesn't make any difference. And then some ribbon round it. So does that make sense? I really hope it does. Let me know if it doesn't. So it's just one piece of paper, however big you want it to be. Play around with what you've got. Fold it in half and then fold the two in together, and then you can use it either way. So with this one, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put some glue on there and stick it on there. It's going to get sticked in. Okay, so thank you so much for coming back to join me. If this was confusing, please let me know. I am on a learning curve trying to show you what I'm doing, and I will try and adapt to meet your needs. If if I'm not doing it right and you don't understand it, please let me know. But hopefully that's clear to you, and I thank you so much for coming to join me. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Please take care. Bye bye.